most worthy, worthy of praise, exalted above all things. My God, you are my God. Your splendor and majesty, your wonder fills everything. My God, you are my God.
Well, Thrive Nation, years ago, we'll go, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, we did this thing called the Reawaken America Tour, and it went on for years. And I did not expect it to go on for years. I thought we would do one event. I thought General Flynn and I would do one event in protest to the lockdowns and the quarantines and the curfews, that kind of thing. But it turned into one more event. General Flynn called and said, could you do one more event? And we did one more event in Tampa, Florida. And then he called and said, could we do one more? And we went to Anaheim, California. And there I met Pastor Phil and Tammy Hotson-Pillar of InfluenceChurch.org. Just a great couple, great pastors. That's InfluenceChurch.org. And Phil says, you got to meet our praise and worship team. You got to meet our praise and worship leader. You got to meet Melody. This lady is great. And I was so impressed, not only by her ability to sing, but her ability to lead the worship team. And I was just so impressed by her skill and her talent and the whole thing. And we asked if Melody would come and perform at one Reawaken America Tour event and then another and then another. And I think Melody might have done 20 Reawaken America Tour events where she led praise and worship at all the events and did it faithfully and with kindness. And she also, when she's not doing that, she's a mom. She writes praise and worship music. She also writes albums and songs, and she's here to talk about it today. Melody, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm super excited to have you on the show. And if it's okay, I kind of want to go back to what you were doing before you were at Influence, because my understanding is that you started out potentially in the secular music space. Or tell me kind of how you got started as a professional musician.
I did, yeah. So my dad is a mariachi. Do you know what a mariachi is?
Tell me, educate me.
A mariachi, it's a Mexican musician, folk music with the sombreros. You know what I'm talking about?
These people come to our office and perform. We have mariachis that come. I maybe mispronounce it, but they come to our business conferences, yes.
Yeah, so mariachi music runs in my family for over 125 years. Like, just all my grandpa's grandpa, everybody has been professional musicians. So my dad's like nominated for like 13 Grammys just doing mariachi music. So that is what I grew up around. And then he introduced me to other genres, and I eventually fell in love with pop music and ended up being the black sheep of my family doing pop music and going to NYU, which is so crazy because of where that school is now and everything. But I ended up going to NYU for composition and recorded music and got my first publishing deal and started writing for artists then.
And for people that want to look you up real quick, just to kind of find your music, where's the best place people should go to if they want to look you up while we're doing today's interview? Is there a certain website or a certain YouTube channel or Instagram or?
Yeah, Instagram/Melody Noel Music.
Instagram, okay, and then
/Melody Noel Music.
Noel Music, okay. We're going there, so make sure it's the right you. There you are. Okay, awesome. So now when you say you're working on in secular music and you're writing music, what were you doing? I mean, are you sitting down recording melody ideas in your phone and then sitting down with an artist, or what were you doing when you first got started?
So when I signed my first publishing deal, it was basically a publisher setting up recording sessions or writing sessions for me. So I'd go into a room and they'd say, okay, a label, let's say a label for Macy Gray or Jennifer Lopez or whatever, says, hey, we want you to write a song about this topic and this topic, go for it. And then they set you up with producers, you write a song, you turn it in, and you hope somebody records something. And that was my dream. My dream was to write big pop songs for big pop artists.
And do you work by yourself when you're writing songs? Or are you in the room with other artists, or how does that work?
It's usually in collaboration. Sometimes the actual artist would be in the room. Sometimes they wouldn't. And you would basically get the song 95% and then they would complete the last 5%. But usually it's me and then like a producer in the room and maybe one other writer. But yeah, it's very collaborative. Both the secular and the Christian music world is very collaborative.
And are you working with a guitar, a piano, or are you singing? What are you doing when you write these songs?
I'm on the keys a little bit, but I'm not an amazing piano player. I'm really into lyrics and melodies. So they could like play a track and then put me in the vocal booth and I'd put on headphones and just start singing melodies over the music and then create a song from there.
Really? And so that was and was that your process? Was your process to go into the room with a blank mind and a blank sheet of paper, or how did you get your first idea? Because I think a lot of people are very curious about how music is written.
Yeah, I mean, in the pop world, it would help because these record labels would say, like, can I give you an example of one that was absolutely ridiculous and one of the examples of why I left the secular world?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was a rapper. Do you remember Wiz Khalifa?
I
Did you
do.
ever? Okay, so I had a session for him, and his label put it on, and they said, "Hey, Wiz recently became a dad, so he wants. Can you write a song? The verses are going to be rap, but we want the chorus to really encapsulate fatherhood, but that it's also cool that he still smokes weed. So like, just kind of both." I'm like, what? How is that supposed to coexist as a idea? Um, but anyways, ended up going into the booth and you just start singing melodies and then trying to come up with a title. That one ended up being totally ridiculous, but it started to get to the point where I was writing about things that I'm like, this is not even anything I relate to. This is not even the values I stand by. I became a Christian in 2012, and this was around 2015, 2016. And at that point, it was too conflicting. I couldn't do it.
So when did you decide, okay, I'm going to go still pursue music, but maybe make a hard pivot and pursue Christian music?
2016 is when I, it wasn't really like a decision I made one day. I just started having worship songs like bubble up in my heart a lot. And I didn't have an outlet for them because my whole team, my management and my publisher, none of them were believers. And I wasn't collaborating with any believers. So I had worship songs bubbling up from my time in the Lord, but didn't have an outlet. And then I actually ended up having a dream, and it was a prophetic dream about a prayer wall and a blonde woman who looked like Barbie. And she was on fire about prayer. And I was like, this is such a vivid dream. And a couple weeks later, I got connected to Influence Church. And for those of you who haven't been here, when you walk into the lobby, the entire lobby is modeled after the Wailing Wall. So it's a literal prayer wall. And then I met Tammy, and she looks pretty much exactly like Barbie. And anyways, when I got connected to the church, the pastors just took me under their wing and really um, just championed my gifting and how to use it for the kingdom.
And for anybody out there that hasn't heard your music, I know there's so much music you've written, but there's probably some that you're maybe more proud of or more excited about, or stuff that you go, well, that's my favorite, or maybe not. Maybe you say they're all like my kids and they're all the same. But is there a particular song that you would recommend people go check out if they're wanting to hear your music for the first time?
Yeah, if you anywhere you listen to music, if you put in Melody Noel, my music will come up. So if you're into worship music, there's a song called Glory, Honor, Power that I think is really powerful and I love to lead. And then my more recent project actually comes out this next Friday, May 2nd. So you'll hear a whole new sound then.
And with you, this album, this new one, what's the name of the album again? And what's kind of the theme behind it?
The name of the album is Back to Praise, and it's definitely worshipful. It's Christian music, but it has more of like a pop flair to it than what you would necessarily sing on a Sunday. Um, but yeah, Back to Praise. The idea is basically that is the key through our life. Is if you keep coming back to praise, then that is the doorway into the presence of the Lord, and that's our number one necessity is being in communion with Him.
Do you do you get excited about the hunger that you see in people's eyes when they come to church now? 'Cause I've heard from people who are praise and worship leaders, and maybe you disagree, but I've heard from praise and worship leaders are saying there's a new level of intensity amongst church visitors now. People are saying that they're coming to church and they're, again, these are praise and worship leaders that I know very well. And they're saying, Clay, these first time visitors, there's a different level of energy to them now. They're almost desperate to find God or to hear God or to worship God. Are you seeing that out there in California or maybe not? Or
100%. Yeah, we're definitely seeing that. I think there is an awakening, revival. I don't know exactly what to call it. There is something taking place in this country and it's stirring up like a supernatural hunger in people's hearts. And I am seeing that by people that come early for pre-service prayer. I mean at our church in particular, there's a move happening among the men. So when worship is happening, it's men standing in the front with their hands up in the air, like all out worshiping the Lord. And that was not the norm 3 or 4 years ago.
And what do you see as kind of like in your near term future? Are you going to be focusing primarily on promoting the new music and maybe touring with that, or are you performing at different churches, or what are you doing to kind of right now in your kind of in your near term there? What's on the schedule for you?
On the schedule for me is having a baby. I'm due in July. So that's coming up in my due date's in like 9 weeks or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I lead the record label here at Influence Church. So I am here leading worship every week at Influence Church. We're have a worship set with The Stand. Do you know Seth Gruber?
I do not know
Uh,
Seth Gruber, but I should know Seth Gruber.
He's wonderful. So they're having an event at Calvary Downey, and that's happening the end of June. And I pray that I can make it to that, but I might be having a baby. So we'll see. But my team will definitely be there, Influence Music. And then as soon as I'm ready to get back out and start performing, I would love to start doing my own songs. I go out to other churches quite often doing praise and worship music. So the goal is to get back out when the fall comes.
Now I'm going to go to influencechurch.org so people can see the website there. So do you lead praise and worship at influencechurch.org on a regular basis there in Anaheim, or is that something you do, quarterly or monthly or daily, or how often are you at Influence Church leading praise and worship?
Twice a week, Sundays and Wednesdays. So Influence Music is the name of our church worship band, and it's also the name of our record label. So our worship team, Influence Music, leads worship every Sunday, every Wednesday. And if it's not me, then it's one of our other team members, but I'm basically here weekly.
I've heard that you have the church, the organization, the Influence Music Team has picked up some awards or some recognition recently. I know that's not why you do it, but could you share with us about that? Because again, I hear you guys are receiving some national and maybe even international recognition.
We just won something called the We Love Christian Music Awards. And I did not expect us to win it, mostly because of the other people in the category are all these huge, huge mega churches. And we're, a pretty medium-sized church in Anaheim Hills. But 28,000 Christian music fans voted for their favorite church worship album. And we won for our last album called Day and Night. And it was a shock. And it was coincidence. Well, actually, it was the Lord that we ended up being in Nashville when they had this award ceremony. So we went not expecting to win. We were in the back row eating a box of cookies when they called our name. And my acceptance speech was way not up to the level that I wish I would have prepared.
Now, with your music writing process, are you writing music? Are you still to this day, writing like every day or every week? Or like when you have a song idea that pops into your head, do you stop everything and do a voice memo? Or what do you do? What's kind of your regimen? Because there's somebody watching today's show that's maybe an aspiring songwriter or somebody who is a songwriter. What is your process for capturing these ideas as God gives them to you?
Two main things. So one is when I feel inspiration, whether it's a lyric or a melody, I just capture it right then on my phone. So I have so many voice memos of just little ideas, or even if I wake up in the middle of the night and hear a melody in my head, I'll just silently record it in my phone. And then really regularly writing and collaborating with other people. So setting up co-write sessions. And I think for anybody aspiring to be a professional writer, I would say start writing with other people as soon as you can, because it will really sharpen you. Iron sharpens iron, and it's true in the writing room.
What do you say to somebody watching this show who has no experience writing music in terms of professionally, but they want to? They're good. I mean, people have said to them, "Wow, that song is good." People have objectively said, "Well, your music is good." They know they're good at writing. They like to sing. They like to perform. They like playing instruments, and they go, "Well, God's given me a gift here, but I don't even know the first step." What is the first step if someone wants to become a songwriter?
Um, Start putting out your own music. So whether there's so many independent ways to put out music. We put out music. I get to put out music through my church, which is a privilege and an honor. But if you don't have that kind of support system right away, then get on CD Baby or get on DistroKid and just start independently releasing your own music, or just on social media, TikTok, Instagram. Just begin sharing it, and doors will open if they're meant to open.
You said CD baby, and what was the other thing you said?
DistroKid.
What does that mean? What are you saying? What are these things? People don't know what these things are.
Those are two distribution websites. So you can upload your music to them, and then they'll send that music to Spotify, Apple, all the DSPs, all the digital streaming platforms. They're a distributor to send that music to all those platforms. And that way, you own your own sound recording. You're in charge of it. You still own it, but they just distribute it for you.
Now, in the final 60 seconds we have for you here, what is on your heart and what's the call to action you want to give our listeners out there? There's people watching this show, they go, "Hey, I want to do what you want me to do. I like you. I want to go do what you want me to do." What would be your call to action for everybody watching today's show?
My call to action would be to remember that prioritizing the Lord is the number one most important thing, and that we live in a world that constantly tries to suck out your energy. So you need to be proactive about filling your mind and filling your heart and filling your soul with things that are life-giving. And I'm hoping that the music that I'm making right now can be one of those life-giving things. So hopefully make some of my songs your soundtrack, get in your word, and just protect your peace.
Melody, thank you so much for carving out time for us. Congratulations on baby number 2. I believe baby number 2 on the way, and we can't wait to have you on the show again. You take care.
Thank you, Clay. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
The entire song bows down to the melody because that's what the human ear remembers more than the lyric. They remember the melody.
1, 2, 3.
Based on whatever a track is or whatever the melody is, whatever the chords are, I kind of know where to go.
1, 2, 3, 4. And it's on the and of the 4. Like if I'm gonna do a pop thing, I might go high.
I like that melody better, huh?
I don't know what I'm going to do until I do it, and this will be the first time I've ever done it in front of cameras in real time. I've been noted as saying many, many times that melody is the most important thing. The entire song bows down to the melody because that's what the human ear remembers more than the lyric. They remember the melody. So I'm very hyper-focused on that in this next section. And what you're about to see is me opening up a track, putting it into loop, putting the headphones on, turning the microphone on, and just spitballing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's hard enough in times like these. Put me on the rail like these, I know that you never wanna go. Tell me what you're taking back. Put me on the basic track, I know. Yeah, you never last me, no. She said, "Time is born my life before. You don't like this, you know. And if you don't get down, then I don't mind. I just want something that you never get at lies, I know." She said, "Hey, I better corner with the phone, and I never would awaken alone. I never lie, the hate is for you."
All right, so I'm just doing gibberish. I kind of have a gist of a verse and a pre. I had no idea what I was doing before. I'm just free, whatever.
Get lies, I know.
Yeah.
Daylight, just some one of my tears, I don't
Oh, that's kind of, I have an idea. That might be a chorus idea.
know. Because a day like this, I might be crazy, but I don't mind you much, maybe I just want you to know. Sometimes I just want you to kill me out of it, the light on my beyond. All I want is some place to go. Ooh,
and I'll go back through. I might do a couple more passes.
These put me on the red like these. I know that you never wanna go. Tell me what you're taking back. Put me on the basic track. I know that you never last me no. She said the time is born my life before. You don't like this, you know.
I can beat that.
And if you don't get down, then I don't mind. I just want something that you never get at lies, I know. Because a day like this I might be crazy, but I don't mind you much, or maybe let them money crazy, I don't mind you much, baby. I don't mind you much, or maybe I just want you to know. Sometimes I just want you to kill me out of it, look like don't I might be young. All I want is some place to go. Ooh.
So I'm gonna edit some of this because I kind of like this first pass a lot.
Before you might be all I know.
All right.
And if you don't get down, then I don't mind. I just want something that you never get at lies, I know. Because a day like this I might be crazy, but I don't mind you much, or maybe I just want somewhere to go. Much, or maybe I just want somewhere to go. Want somewhere to go. Or maybe I just want somewhere to go. Oh, oh. Sometimes I just want you to kill me out of it, look like don't I might be young. All I want is some place to go. Ooh, but you give me don't I might be young. But you gave me don't I might be young. But you give me some place to go.
All right, so what I have here is this. I'll do one more pass just to see, but I feel pretty, like I said earlier, usually my first pass has a lot in it that is the one. What I can't tell you is how did I think of that melody, which is probably the one question some people might be asking. And when I'm in sessions, if I do come up with something insane on the fly, that's very often the question is from other writers, like, where the hell did you think of that? How did you think of that? Like, where did that come from? And I really don't have an answer. That's just years and years of writing songs. And years and years of listening. My brain starts to, or has assimilated based on whatever a track is or whatever the melody is, whatever the chords are. I kind of know where to go instinctively, like what melodies, what shapes are going to work with those chords, just because I've written over so many chord progressions. And if I think it might be a pop artist, if it's Bieber or Sean, then I'm going to get in the headspace of them. I'm going to sing it like I know the melody shapes that Sean would sing. I've written and produced, with him many, many times, and many, many other artists. If it's Ellie Goulding or if it's Normani, like I know what they're likely to sing melodically. I know where they're going to go. And that's from the short answer to that is just I just pay attention. I pay attention. I listen to that so much music and have for so many years that you instinctively know where to go. So I know that like if I shift this any more to the right, no pun intended, it's going to feel more country, maybe too country. And I might shift it, and even how I sing it. If I sing it with any kind of twang at all, it could start to feel country. But I could easily flip this to be more like I hate saying Bieber territory, but more his territory, or like a pop artist. In a perfect world, I put it right down the middle, which is what I'm aiming for today. Something that like could pitch to a handful of pop artists, a handful of country artists. Just a good song, very simple, good song, feel good song.
It's hard enough in times like these. Put me on the red like these. I know that you never wanna go, and you got no place to go. Red like these, I know. but we got no place to go.
I think now my gibberish is already starting to tell me what this song's going to be and what it's about, which is good. I'm forming an idea.
Tell me what you're taking back. Put me on the basic track, I know. I don't want to take you back. Got no place to go. Tell me what you're taking back. Put me on the basic track, I know. Yeah, you never last me long. She said, time is more my life before you might be what I know. Yeah, and if you don't
Little
be
ad.
what I know. Yeah,
Yeah. Need that little yeah in there.
oh, yeah, and if you don't get might be what I know. Yeah, and if you don't get down, then I don't mind. I just want something that you never get, lies I know.
Oh, yeah.
Because a day like this, I might be. I just want something that you never get, lies I know.
Oh, you could.
Because they. I just want something that you never get, lies I know.
So they lie
Because day like this, I might be crazy, but I don't mind. I just want something that you never get, lies I know. Because day like this, I might be crazy, but I don't mind you much of me. It's like this thing might be crazy, but I'm not sleeping with you, baby. It's like this thing might be crazy, but I feel safe here with you, baby. And I don't care like this, you'll never go. Crazy, but I feel safe here with you, baby. And I don't care like this. I don't want to safe here with you, baby. And I don't. I feel safe here with you, baby. I don't need no other place to go. I feel safe here with you, baby. And I'm not trying to find some place to go.
All right. So what I'm doing is, as the ideas hit me, I like to record them or I forget them. So I might change these lyrics 20 times. This might be garbage. I might throw the whole thing away. I don't know, but I'm forming an idea.
Oh, sometimes I just want you get me out of it, like don't.
Okay, so I'm gonna do one more pass in case I get any other chorus ideas. So I'm gonna save that as pass one, create a new track. But the thing is, I really like my verse, and I just feel like that is the verse. Like I actually feel pretty solid.
I just want something that you.
Like I said earlier, I'm more inclined. My first pass on a verse and pre, and very often, not all the time, but 2 out of 3 times ends up being the final. And then I'll take a couple approaches at a chorus. So if I'm thinking a pop artist like Bieber or whatever, he's got a higher range than a lot of the country artists. So you could go, I could take this, the pre-chorus
I
feels
just want
right.
something that you never get, lies I know. I don't want you here. Sweet fun.
Like if I'm gonna do a pop thing, I might go higher like him.
You never get lies I know. Anywhere you go, know that I'll be yours. Know that I'll be fitted while the light be yours. That anywhere you want, know that I'll be yours. Know that I'll be fixed on all the light be yours. I'll be happy, yours. Ooh, 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 ooh.
So there's another more pop approach. I might do one more just for fun. Call that. And just so I can preview these, I'm gonna keep this simple. I'm just gonna pull that down and I'll leave the pass one up there. That's the first pass, right? I'm creating multiple tracks so I can preview my different chorus ideas and figure out which one I like better. Instinct is to roll with the first one because it's easy, but that's also being lazy. So force myself to do a few more. So mute that, mute this, and I'll do one more pass on a chorus.
That you never get lies
But I gotta think about what I'm gonna do first.
that you never get lies I know.
See, let me pay attention to where I start on the verse in the pre-chorus. So where you start a melody, its association with the first downbeat of that section, the downbeat, the one beat of the verse, the one beat of the pre-chorus. You need to pay attention to, is the melody starting before the one? Is it starting on the one? Is it starting after the one? And if you're doing the same thing in each section, no matter how good the melodies are, you will upend the whole song. You'll pull the rug out from underneath it because everything's starting in the key is switching up your patterns. So the human ear isn't just getting bored, even if it doesn't know why. It's like, why is this boring? It's like, oh, well, every part of the song starts on the one beat, starts on the down. So I'm going to make sure as I'm doing it, I know that I like my verse, I know that I like my pre, and I'm pretty sure I like the chorus or both of them for different reasons. So I want to see where am I starting on the verse and the pre, and this final pass I do, I'm going to intentionally start at a different point. So this is the end of the phrase, 3, 4, so starting on the 2. All right, so the verse starts on the 2. Let's see where the pre starts. She said, so it starts kind of on the end of the 4 of the end of the bar. So it's 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's on the end of the 4. So let's see when my choruses start here. They both start at different times. So this starts, the last chorus starts two beats before the chorus.
Anywhere you go, know that I'll be yours. Know that I'll be fitted while the light be told. That anywhere you want, know that I'll be on. Know that I'll be feast on.
I like that melody better, hold on.
Know that I'll be yours. Know that I'll be fit on the love belongs. On all the lobby, know that I'll be yours. Know that I'll be all I ever need. I'll be yours. Know that I'll be all I never did like before. Never did I before. Know that I'll be all I, everything and the more. Know that I'll be all I, everything and the more.
All right, there we go.
Know that I'll be on, know that I'll be feast, know that I'll be on, know that I'll be on, know that I'll be all I've ever did like before. Be all I've ever did like before, ever did, all I ever did like before. I'll be all I ever did like before, before. Everything like before, everything is yours.
I'm not going to say that. Definitely not going with this lyric.
Honey, I'll be yours. Everything like before, honey, I'll be yours.
So that's one. Let me do a different one.
And I don't mind. I just want something that you never get lies I know. Shit to go.
Play, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
Sean, guess what's happening June 5th and 6th right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem?
We are probably going to have an amazing business conference here at Tulsa, Jerusalem.
Yes, we're joined by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is going to be joining us right here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters, June 5th and 6th. He's a very successful football player, obviously a Heisman Award winner, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. Now, when you work with real clients, Sean, clients you really work with to help them grow their companies, do you ever hear a business owner tell you that they didn't have time to get something done?
every day.
How often is not having enough time a problem for business owners?
All the time. It's like maybe 90% of the issues as people are trying to grow their company.
Well, Tim Tebow is going to come join us here at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, and he's going to teach us time management and his approach to personal self-discipline and getting things done. Also at the workshop, I'll put up on the website so people can see it here. Also at the 2-day interactive workshop, Sean, we are going to be, there it is. We're going to be teaching accounting, systems creation, marketing, human resources, how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people, accounting, social media advertising, search engine optimization. Sean, what's the area where most clients ask you for help the most? Is it generating leads? Is it hiring people? What's the biggest issue that most business owners have by default before they come to one of our workshops?
Well, I think it's management, because time is the most valuable resource for these business owners, and being able to manage their time is the first thing. Once they get that under control, then generally the numbers, being able to track their business and be able to make the best decisions based on numbers rather than emotions is a big area. And we teach all of this stuff at the business conference, particularly you, Clay. You love to hammer on time management. It's my favorite part of the conference.
Now I'm going to pull this up real quick here because we're going to go through. If you're not excited, I want to get you excited about what we're going to cover at the workshop here. Okay.
All right.
The 2-day interactive workshop. This is my 20th year hosting workshops. So I'm telling you folks, we're in rare form here. So one is the idea of establishing your revenue goals. I think most entrepreneurs don't know their revenue goals. Would you agree, or am I off my rocker?
No, that's totally a very important point we do with every one of our new clients that come on board, is we have to establish the revenue goals. And generally speaking, we have a vague idea, but not an exact idea that can be engineered down into like the daily goals for sales. And so that's a really big one.
Now, next is the break-even numbers. What kind of sales do you have to do to even break even?
Yeah.
Third is, how many hours per week do you want to work? What is your ideal schedule as an entrepreneur? Box number 4, how do you stand out in the clutter of commerce? What makes your company unique from all the different businesses? In a world of brown cows, herds of brown cows, proverbial brown cows, the analogy of brown cows, how can you be the purple cow that stands out? How can you be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil? Box number 5, branding. How do you improve the perception that people have of you, your business, your brand? Box number 6, marketing, your 3-legged marketing stool. What is a turnkey way for you and your company to generate leads so you can succeed? Because if you don't have any leads, your business will bleed. If you can't sell, your business will go to hell. You've got to generate leads. Sean, how often do business owners by default tell you they have a hard time generating leads?
It's almost all of the time. It's really a huge struggle. And many times they may be creating leads, but just through word of mouth. So they get to a point where we've implemented systems, and then they need to create more leads, but they've never had to do it. So there's a lot of different scenarios where business owners are like, how do you create leads? Something we hammer on at the conference a lot.
Box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Again, box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one-sheets, pre-written emails, lead trackers, all of the sales tools, the sales print pieces, the one-sheets, the big screens that you see inside the business. Whether you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you got to have sales systems in place. We help you with that. Box number 8, what does it cost you to get another customer? Step number 8, what does it cost you to actually acquire a customer? Step number 9, it's hard to build an organization if you're not organized. We're going to teach you how to create repeatable systems, processes, file organization. Box number 10, we're going to teach you how to manage people, real people on the planet Earth. This just in, we're going to teach you how to manage real people on the planet Earth. Box number 11, how to create a sustainable schedule that works for you and your family. Step number 12, how to create human resources systems for recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining great people. Box number 13, accounting. This just in, we have to cover accounting. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. We're going to cover all the accounting things you need to know. And step 14, finally, what is the point of even achieving success? We're going to go over what is the point of even achieving success, how to design a life that you're excited about, how to design a life where you carve out enough time for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and where you're going to spend your focused time. We're going to go through that, all this and more. Now, the workshop, Sean, it's June 5th and 6th.
Yep.
It's a 2-day interactive workshop.
Yes.
And tickets, we always do it. It's $250 or whatever price that someone can afford. Sean, why do we let people name their price? Why do we have scholarship tickets available if somebody can't afford the $250 general admission ticket?
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out on it. You know, you could be at a startup phase or you could be, you know, way along in your business, but we want to make it accessible for everybody. I think it actually goes back to a story of your dad, and like it goes all the way back to how you've always done this as a business coach, trying to make sure that, you know, your average people out there have access to the things that work.
Now, 7 a.m. to 5. Sean, why do we go from 7 to 5 both days? I mean, it's 10 hours a day. 20 hours of training over 2 days. Why do we do 10 hours a day, Sean, of back-to-back workshops? We do a 30-minute teaching session. We do a 15-minute question and answer session, and then we take a break. 30 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of question and answer, then we take a break. Why do we do that format, Sean?
That format is so that we can keep people engaged and not just sitting there listening, but also getting involved. We really encourage people to ask questions, and that's really where the juiciness of the conference comes out, is you can put your personal situation and your questions on the board, and Clay will tee off and give you direct advice. Even without being in our coaching program, you can get direct coaching from Clay. It's really a very engaging format. I enjoyed it a lot.
Sean, final 60 seconds, pop quiz here. What date is the conference?
June 5th and 6th, 2025, this year.
Question number 2, who's our keynote speaker coming to the conference there, Sean?
Tim Tebow is our keynote speaker.
Sean, question number 3, how much does it cost to come to our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I think it's, did you say it's $250 or whatever you can afford?
That's right, $250
Yes.
or whatever you can afford. Sean, how do you spell Eric Trump backwards?
P-M-U-R-T-C-I-R-E. Ooh, that took a long time.
I'll have to listen to this. And you did it right. All right, again, that's Sean Lohman. I'm Clay Clark, and inviting you to come join us at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sean, I'm excited to have this event. I'm excited to see you at the event, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim Tebow, baby. It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
I heard about it on the podcast. Started listening to the podcast, became a fan, and then figured out about the workshop. I own an insurance and financial services agency, and I was hoping to learn from the workshop systems and processes. I'm big on systems and processes, and always learning better ways to run a business more efficiently. The atmosphere's second to none. It's a high energy, really cool atmosphere to be around. Contagious, I would say. Just something every entrepreneur, I think, would appreciate and love. I'd say humorous, high energy, and full of substance, which I think is the key. A lot of business coaches or seminars maybe are high on motivation and making you feel good, but don't have a lot of substance that you can take back and implement, the following Monday, where his does. Man, there's a lot of valuable things. I'm gonna say, this is my second workshop. The first workshop I took back really the importance of a group interview. I used to spend hours and hours interviewing people, screening resumes, and that saving my time on that part is valuable. It was that and then the sales scripting that have been two major things just so far. Man, I think they're missing out on, expert advice from somebody who's been there, done that, built companies, has learned a lot of lessons. That's what I'm always looking for, is somebody that I can learn from that's ahead of where I am. And I think if you choose not to come, you're missing out on a lot of good advice that could help your business.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us. And it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I've found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due. And Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you, so congratulations.
And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. Hi, I'm Kelsey with K&D's Woodward Finishing, business owner at 23. So I've been working this K&D's company for about 5 years now, and we started working with Thrive not too long ago. And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. That's what we're going to hit or exceed. So we're pretty excited about that. It's been pretty much just listening to what they have to say. Their hiring process has just really been incredible as far as finding good quality help, and the just the accountability of meeting up with them weekly, and like such good insight, the resources that they have for specific business questions. It's all been really incredible. It's been a great experience, so I would recommend it to anybody.
What I've seen from Clay and his group at Thrive is they'll give you a simple system, and it's the simple systems are the ones that people can wrap their brain around. They're the ones that people can work with on a day-to-day basis.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm gonna check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody shows up to work. I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous, just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but it has a lot to do with hard work and, you know, perseverance and, you know, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, you know, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success, and I can tell that they are just so excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come. Thanks so much for watching.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach, you know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And as my rich dad always said, you know, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever is important. You know, my rich dad was one of those persons. You're on it, man. You're on it. You're on it. Everybody listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view.
Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble.
Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. that's where you wanna be. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah. If you've got the big goals to achieve, you got to achieve it. For entrepreneurs, it's a paradise. For employees, it's a change paradigm. For the poor and ignored, it's a change mind. For the explorers, it's a major find. For Tim Tebow, it's goals aligned. For the Eric to the Trump, it's a mastermind. For Robert Kiyosaki, it's game time. For the first time attendees, it's oh my. For the Oklahomies, it's a sweet home of mine. For the real business people, it's so nice. For the people going places, it's a green light. For you and your crew, it's a change line. For this rendezvous, you can name your prize. For the VIP, ticks 105 times. For me, it's what I do, it's my vibe. Because the Thrivetime Nation is my tribe. My tribe. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah. If you've got the big goals to achieve, you got to achieve it. It's time to thrive, what a time to be alive. Breath in my lungs, thank you Jesus Christ. You got a chance to cause change upon the land. So beat that clock by your diligence. It's up to you, do you prefer to keep making the wrong turns, or to turn it all around after you take the time to learn? Without vision, the people perish. Without wisdom, you get embarrassed. Or be humble, grow 1,000-fold. Leap a harvest and share it. Can we kick it? Yes, we can. If you come with business problems, you leave with plans. At the Thrivetime Show, we make wealth expand. And we're focused on implementation. We teach marketing and improving your brand. How to build the systems and finance. We teach how to hire people and manage them. How to bring your dreams into reality. Since 05, I've been doing it, cause that's my jam. Helping goal pursuers do it, putting cash in their hands. Now that Eric Trump has joined us, he has joined the band. Kiyosaki's coming too, cause he's in the rhythm. But can he kick it? Yes, he can. Kiyosaki's in the dojo of self-discipline. So get your tickets now at Thrivetime Show. And I'd buy them now while they're still on hand. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah. If you've got the big goals to achieve, you got to achieve it. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah. If you've got the big goals to achieve, you got to achieve it.